All right, I'm gonna take a question from the back. There's like someone going like this, back and forth.
Yell at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you. Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of have three. You can answer one or none or all. What have you?
Okay.
Just curious, what do you have for dinner? Here. Could you maybe speak to the title of the album a little bit? I don't know if I'm pulling too much from my own experience into it, but is Get Along from your press kits are obviously very literal, but maybe does it have another, like, get along, is it a new phase, a new chapter, a new, like, move along, get along, like, moving forward? And then, do you know, have you worked with, and if you have not, why, Yellowbird in Montreal, the nonprofit?
Yep. Thank you. Those were three.
What are all three?
No, that's great. I have not had dinner yet. I'm gonna have it during the next screening.
I recommend Holiday Cheer, Shiner, it's really good.
Okay. Thank you. Is that a drink? Yeah. It's probably gonna have a lot of those for dinner. Yeah. Sarah, someone wants to buy it. Oh. Sarah doesn't, she's not allowed to drink. We took her license away, but not allowed to accept things from strangers. She's unruly. The second thing, well, the title came from the third movie, for the most part. I say in the movie, for the most part, we get along, and that just kind of stuck with us, and I think it's literal, like, we get along a lot better, for the most part. And then, yeah, it was, I mean, Sarah and I see this sort of as the end of an era. I mean, we're starting fresh, we have a new record deal, we have a whole new batch of songs and a completely different perspective, and we're really challenging ourselves to change just about everything about Tegan and Sara. You know, we're in our 30s now, and everybody told us that we would feel this way, and I rejected it. I was like, no, I will not feel different at 30. I will not change. Nothing will change about me. I will continue to be me. And then, as I hit 30, I realized like I did have a really different perspective on the world, and my songwriting has really changed. And so, when we were putting together this DVD, we were thinking about it as sort of like a goodbye to the 2001 to 2010 time period. So, and I think that there was definitely something about motion in the title and motion in the movies. I hope that translated, that we're moving forward and we're done. We're hopefully done looking back and looking forward. So, and then the Yellowbird project. The Yellowbird project, we did do a shirt for Yellowbird actually. Emmy Story, our wonderfully talented art director and designer, who we have used for like the last 9 years, she designed a shirt for them, and you can look for it online and buy it. But it's a great project, so you should definitely, all of you should check it out. So it's really awesome. So thank you very much. That was great. Okay. Right down here up front. Yeah. Go to town. Sarah's kind of your favorites down here. Yeah. Do it.
How do you deal with criticism and like?
Are you criticizing us right now?
But, like, I know that there's a lot of like, which twin is better, or like sometimes.
Is that true? It's like bar graphs. You can vote which twin is better, and one just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Heard about this? There's some polling going on online.
Is that like weird to you guys? Like, how do you deal with like sibling rivalry in that sense, and then like also criticism from fans? And I would like to, you know, the offers on the table, since you haven't had dinner. We're all going to dinner.
Yeah, we are.
How generous of you. Thank you for your question and for your dinner offer. Here's the truth. Criticism has always brought us closer together and never really made us feel further apart. If someone talks negatively about Tegan, I want to tear their throat out of their throat area.
Wow.
And
wow.
I struggle with, specifically, I think it's, the easiest way to answer your question is that I think criticism is terrific, and I think that it's very challenging to take any sort of criticism or critique. You know, we're in the middle of writing songs right now for our new record, and we've really opened up the safe space to a lot of people that we normally wouldn't ask for feedback from because we want to challenge ourselves, and it's so hard to get criticism, but when it feels really bad, it's really upsetting, but it's necessary. And like in anything in the world, I think to get better, you have to be able to sort of tear down what you do and then rebuild it back. And so when it's criticism or critique that seems like it's aimed to make something better about us, we're all for it. And but it's so interesting because fan criticism, people who express love for our band, but then also can be incredibly critical and mean, and unnecessarily probably mean about us personally. That to me was something that started almost immediately as soon as we got fans, like whatever that really means. Like as soon as Tegan and I started performing publicly, as early as 1999, whenever we got the internet, we had an email address, and I remember as early as the late 90s, people would write us. You know, I saw your video at 3 a.m. on, you know, MTV, and I hate you, and I wish you were dead, and you're so horrible.
Jeez.
And we would be like, who the hell on this internet, which took 7 years to just email one email, it would be like, and they'd be like, wait to see what Tegan and Sara think about my email. You know, like, it was just unbelievable to me that people would do that. But they did, right from the beginning, before we ever had a fan or a record deal or anything. It felt like there was already people that are gonna tear you down. This person thinks we're and then it was like soon after that we were like, never look at that kind of shit. You just, if somebody Mom just forwarded me something the other day and it said, what people say about you is none of your business. And I think that's how we look at it. It's like those fan pages, our friends tell us about them, family members, we have basically begged everyone we know not to go to them because I think people are so rude. And I think that for the most part, actually the people on their sites aren't rude. It's just mean bully culture, and they'll come to me and be like, you wouldn't believe what they said, and I'm like, I don't care what they have to say. Like, it's not really, it's not criticism, and this goes for anybody, and I'm not trying to be like one of those people that goes to speak at high schools, but there's a time and a place for criticism and for critique, and often it's important to hear from your peers. It's important to hear from people when it seems like it's going to be proactive in helping you get better, but saying mean things, there is a time and a place where you have to, you see that stuff and then you realize, like, I'm not going to assign any value to that anymore. It's more important to me, you know, this over here. So we try really hard. It's so tough though. It's like especially for Tegan and I, we've never hidden behind like a band or like, you know, capes or whatever. Like we were just like, we were so geeky, like right from the get-go. It was really easy to pick on us. We were like, you know, we were like sleeping babies. It was easy, you know? We were like, da-da-da-da, we're here, and we thought that people would just be nice because we're like that. We're a little naive, and so it's really hard. But it's also made us, like I said at the beginning of this long rambling thing. If anything, if someone is like, yeah, you're better than Tegan, I'm just like, shut up. I quit. That's how much I hate what you just said. Tegan is the only member. I hope you're happy. Now that's all you get. You're stuck with her. You're stuck with the less one. That's what you get. I always just say to people, we split everything 50-50, so I don't care if she's better or not. I still make as much money as she does. In the back, you kind of have your arm like this. You're like directly in front of me. Yep, you. Yep. Yeah, you.
Okay. First off, hi from my little brother. He's not here. He's 9. And he's kind of upset at me, but...
Tell him we say hi back.
Will do. I wanted to ask, I have a younger sister. She's 19. She's 16, and
Call me.
she's... Her and I get along sometimes as well. And you said in the movie that you used to fight a lot. Is there something that you did to maybe try to make amends, or...
Thank you very much for your question. I think we did a lot of things, but one of the first things we did was just grow up. And slowly over time, we just stopped finding each other probably as annoying, or we just learned how to ignore one another. I think also as our group has expanded, there's more people to be grumpy with, so now I don't have to just pick on Sara, I can just be mad at everyone for no good reason. And, but I'm also more distracted by everybody, so I don't find Sara as annoying. And then also, like Sara was talking about, like, thank you. Yeah, they're way more interesting than everybody else on the road. But, I think we grew up, and I think also, oh yeah, I was going to say that. I think that we kind of have this mentality, like, you know, we're out there, we're sort of forging ahead, and we're building our fan base one person at a time, and one activity and one show at a time. So there's a lot of camaraderie between us. And I think that the start of our career was particularly hard because there was no anything happening, and it felt devastating. We'd show up to like a sports bar in like some small town, and it would be like 2 people watching the baseball game, and Sara we would be on stage, and it was like, oh God, what have we done? And so we picked on each other a lot, but we just, I think, grew up and like each other more, and we also live really far apart, so when we do see each other, it's like, oh hey you, what's up? Like, haven't seen you in a while, and I don't know, feels good, I guess. We went to therapy. I don't know. We're being paid more money. Someone actually sponsors us to get along now. So every time we smile at each other, we get $1. If I hug her, I get 20. If I write her a nice letter on a typewriter and send it to her home address, which I did, I get $100, and then she doesn't respond. But I'm not mad, because if I don't get mad, she gives me $1,000. So